Hey there, Starshaped here with a Warcraft 3 commentary. Today's game features the human player CaSpeND, the Russian human player CaSpeND, and the German undead player Edo, or Edo Boy. And they're playing here on Turtle Rock. We see a Cryptlord first from Edo. Pretty standard on a lot of maps against human. Some people like to go the Death Knight, some people like to go Cryptlord. Some people, it really depends on the map. But with a Cryptlord first like this, it's highly likely we're going to see a fast expansion. Especially with this double Ziggurat opening, it's going to be a lot of ghouls. It's going to be a Cryptlord with beetles. And we're going to go see a fast expansion. So, on Turtle Rock, it actually could be quite hard to fast expand. If we remove the Fog of War, I mean, these creeps are pretty difficult. The giant sea turtles die pretty quickly to normal damage, but the gargantuan one here is very, very tanky and does a lot of damage. And these creeps down here, I mean, there's a lot of high amounts of piercing damage here. Could easily lose a couple of ghouls, and if you get creepjacked while you're trying to do it, even more so. So I'm not sure if it's going to be an instant expansion or if it's going to be creeping some normal spots and then do a kind of late expansion. Meanwhile, CaSpeND going for the Archmage, which is very standard against undead, standard in every matchup really. Just get that Archmage, creeping with Water Elemental, going for the item right away. Circular ability, very, very nice. We see 3 farms and not producing more peasants, so he might actually be going for a tech here. Since if he would expand, we'd see more peasants being made. So it's a 3 farm tech with a footman scout here. So he sees the Cryptlord. He sees that the Cryptlord has indeed crept the green spot first. So there's a lot of time really for CaSpeND to actually creepjack if there is a fast expansion. Which it looks like that's what he's going for. He might actually want to use Militia to get level 2 on one of these green camps here. And it does indeed look like Edo wants to go for the red expansion creep here. I suppose it will. Oh, CaSpeND running into the creeps. They're taking some additional damage that is kind of necessary. I mean, I suppose, yeah, like I said, it's very easy to lose ghouls here if you aren't very well aware of what you're doing, but there is a lot of normal damage. Both of these berserkers will die pretty quickly. But yeah, this is, I mean, if you get backstab like this, I don't think it's possible to hold this. One ghoul goes down, gets that Brilliant Roar online. But oh, this is the big danger here. Impale into surround, force TP. Unless we might have, oh, there's no mana for Impale, so Archmage actually gets out of that. But this is like the one key tool that Undead has when they're going Cryptlord. You get level 2, instantly impale the Archmage, surround it, force a TP, and that buys you enough time to actually set up the expansion. But because the surround wasn't fully closed and CaSpeND fought out of it, that actually completely ruins any plans that Edo had of expanding. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's teching. Yes. So plan B, go tech. The advantage here is that, you know, CaSpeND hasn't expanded. CaSpeND has been very aggressive. He's not level 3 or anything, so it's not the end of the world for Edo to actually tech. It's going to be much later than his opponents, but it's not the end of the world. And we do see these the classic rifleman follow-ups. If you're going to tech with human, a lot of times you're just going to go for the rifleman. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not CaSpeND tries like a tier 2 expansion with this, since he does have the tech advantage and he has stopped the expansion from going off. Or if he's just going to play straight up one base and then still try and do a push. Nice round on the elemental. It might actually expire. No, he gets the experience in the end. So he inches a bit closer towards level 3. And Edo looks like he might just do an expansion either way. So teching, but still setting up, you know, with the Acolyte that he does still have alive, he can set up tower, expansion, maybe even Necropolis if he wants to. So it looks like he is committing to an expansion style of play. He's not going to try and one base it. Double Ziggurat. Wow. So I guess he didn't make a single one in his main. Yeah, he didn't. So he's actually investing both of those. One he desperately needs just to get more units, and might as well put both of them here. Get those towers up. Does he actually? Oh wow, he actually can't afford. Okay, he can't afford. I'm sorry. I thought he couldn't afford the expansion, but he already selected to build it, so that's why the wood wasn't there. So expansion going up, 2 towers, level 3 unlocked, which should be level 2 beetles. Indeed it is. And meanwhile, CaSpeND is just creeping. Makes a lot of sense. You stop the expansion, so back off and creep. Get that level 2 Water Elemental unlocked. Get the Mountain King started. Oh, Paladin even. Paladin second. Interesting choice. I'm not sure the logic behind it. I mean, Holy Light's always good. especially against undead. It's more flexible against undead than other races, but generally you would see a Mountain King here. Clap is going to be amazing against the ghouls and beetles. Stormbolt is a great catch. So I'm kind of questioning why you'd go Paladin, but we'll see. Paladin does pick up the Regeneration Scroll, so he's going to get a lot of value out of that, healing up everything here. And pass the Clarity to the Archmage.
A player's forces are under
nice.
attack.
Now he just keeps on creeping, and he hasn't actually scouted this, so I think a lot of times you might get a bit almost complacent. Like, you know, if you stopped the expansion at tier 1, you don't really expect it to go up again. You're just like, okay, the undead is now going to go 1 base. So not scouting this is really hurting CaSpeND because the towers are already up. There's no way to cancel this gold mine now. So he's kind of playing as if there is just no expansion, which is, as far as he knows, there isn't. Meanwhile, Ito is kind of transitioning to more of a normal army, Fiend, statues, but again, with that expansion, his tier 3 is going to be super late, so without an orb, I kind of question how efficient that army is going to be against a human rifle caster army like this. Wanda Mana Stealing, terrible item, but against such a low mana pool as the Crypt Lord has, it actually hurts quite a bit to steal 50 like that. You can steal 100 eventually. So not too bad, but it definitely could have been better. Could have been a greater mana, could have been greater healing. Even a Roar Skull would be huge here. And now I think CaSpeND is aware of what's going on, so he's actually just going to haul in the main. Interesting choice instead of the expansion. I guess there are 2 towers already, but the main has the Hall of the Dead that's attacking. Still, it's I think a smart choice because Ito really wants to go tier 3 and get the orb eventually. So if he's teching this, then the main isn't attacking anymore. So, and if the push does succeed, killing the main gives you a lot more than killing the expansion. So I like it. Here we go. Really nice pincer move here. Oh, massive impale. Every single unit gets impaled. Surrounds from flanked by beetles on one side, ghouls on another. Really intense fight. You have to microback those riflemen really hard. Oh, actually going for the Archmage there. Offensive Coil. Even though there's Holy Light, Rifleman goes down, but not much else has gone down really. I mean, a lot of these ghouls have gone down, beetles have gone down. There's a lot of experience. Level 2 Brilliance here kicked in. There's going to be a lot of Holy Lights here. Great splitting of units by Ito. Everything's getting targeted by something, so CaSpeND is easily getting overwhelmed here, you know. Everything's kind of low, which is also very strong if your opponent has Paladin, because Paladin obviously is single target heal. So if everything's getting hurt at once, it's hard to make the choice of what to keep alive. It can really make your opponent kind of get a brain freeze and like, oh, what am I supposed to do? And ooh, Proxy Workshop, I love it. This is if I'm playing Human against Undead expansion, this is what I like to do as well. Just Proxy Workshop and push with rifles and priests. We have the Dispel obviously available. Surprisingly, he did not pick Devotion Aura. He actually went for Divine Shield. I definitely would have gone for Devotion Aura. Keep everything alive a bit more. Yeah, we really see the power here of the Dispel kicking in, and there's obviously no Dispel for Ito, so these War Elementals are going to keep being very powerful. Who dodges the Impale with an Impulse? So maybe the Impulse was a nice choice. I mean, it does mean that the Paladin really isn't going to get focused down anytime soon. Nice to focus on the statue. If you can get rid of that, that's just getting rid of all the sustain from Ito. Level 2 Holy Light unlocked. Actually uses it offensively. Might be a mistake. I mean, there's not a whole lot of mana left here. Proxy Shop is going up though with the Mortar team in the back here, so we could definitely see Clarities, Mana Potions, stuff like that in the near future. So it's looking very good for CaSpeND, I'd say, this push, but in the back of his head he has to know that there is this expansion, there's double income. It's far from over, I would say. I mean, you definitely... This game isn't over until the main is gone, so to speak. So as long as it's double income, Ito can definitely invest into a lot of items. He can get potions, he can get whatever he wants without really feeling his economy hurt at all. And that's definitely not the case for CaSpeND. Every unit lost is that much more expensive for him. Every item bought is more expensive. Really nice impales from Ito. Nice focus fire here. That level 2 Holy Light is going to put a lot of make a lot of problems for him though. Nice focus fire on the priest. The priest really, they go down so quickly against all this piercing. You have to keep them far back. Another offensive Holy Light there. Interesting choice. Mana Potion for more water. This is a very rare situation where Mana Potion on the Archmage makes a lot of sense, but this is one of those situations because there's just not going to be any Dispel for a long, long time. So this Archmage is so powerful right now. The Death Knight's actually surrounded. He's gonna have to TP out of this. Actually closes the block there with the Elemental and forces the TP. Clarity making excellent use of this shop here. The only real issue for CaSpeND is his army is dwindling, so he's really not doing a whole lot of damage, but he does have the double mortar team slowly shooting down buildings. But the actual fighting army, this is the kind of the downside of the mortar teams, they're not really adding anything to the fight, they're just kind of attacking buildings. So as these riflemen pretty slowly get picked off, the actual fighting army of CaSpeND is largely reduced. And so this is the choice Ito's making. Like, you can either hardcore go for the mortars and stay alive, or hardcore go for the army and just try to win straight up, because you know that those mortar teams are a pretty big investment that's not adding anything. Nice focus fire on the statues again from CaSpeND. It's one of the best targets you can choose if you have that rifle army. Get rid of that regeneration, get rid of the mana. Another huge impale. These impales have been perfect for Ito the entire game. Slowly though, running out of mana, running out of HP, but there's more statues where that came from again. He's got 1200 gold. He's actually lacking wood, which is a huge issue. In fact, I don't think he has a single ghoul. No. So he has to start making ghouls now. He has to. There's no other option. He can't do anything. Actually cancelled. Yeah, cancelled Fiend starts the ghoul production. He realizes that there's no wood. Almost, honestly, I would just build a second shop, because you have to invest this gold somehow. 2 shops to get more potions, more rods. But now he needs more ghouls if he ever wants to dream of teching to tier 3. And CaSpeND actually backs off here. It makes sense. I mean, this is a very scary army at this point. And like I said, the mortar teams really aren't adding that much. Trying to maybe get a game-changing item, maybe getting level 5 on the Archmage, that would definitely be a game changer. Nice little flying machine scout here as well from CaSpeND to keep tabs on his opponent. And it's also getting his burrow, reveals the burrow units. And Ito really doesn't want to invest into web just for that one flying machine, so it's a very, very wise decision to make before the workshop goes down. But still, he's tier 2. And he's been behind one base for a long time now, so I mean the clock is ticking. I'm not sure if CaSpeND can be this passive. He's just gonna walk into his own grave if he doesn't do something soon. He either has to expand, or some kind of tier 3 tech, or just keep pushing. Oh, another amazing dodge there with the Imbo, dodging the Impale. First Sorceress is actually in play now, so Sorceress also makes a lot of sense for the same reason that the Archmage mana potion made sense earlier. There is no Dispel, and still no tier 3, so Sorceresses have a lot more value than they would normally have. Archmage Water Elemental has a lot more value than they normally would have. Another good Impale, picking off the casters. Every priest that you pick off obviously means that your beetles are going to stay alive that much longer and going to be that much more of a threat against these riflemen. And oh, nice last second Holy Light there. We do have the level 5 Archmage, almost level 4 double big Imbo. That's really good. Almost level 4 on the Paladin. It might actually pick the Aura in that case. Another almost perfect Impales this game. Picks off the Rifleman before the stun is worn off on the Paladin. And wow. Just unit after unit is dying here from CaSpeND. And again, this is purely a tier 2 army from Ito. So there's no orb, no destroyers. But maybe, like if they keep kind of trading like this, the heroes can get out of hand for CaSpeND. He actually picked Brilliant Destroyer level 3. Wow, I didn't realize that. I'm not sure what I think about that. I think that's a mistake. I think those level 3 Water Elementals would be huge. But I mean, level 3 Brilliance is also a powerful choice. Ooh, first Impale that wasn't really that huge. But again, the stun just lasts just long enough for the Rifleman to die before the Holy Light. But saying that, the Death Knight actually goes down to offensive Holy Light. So these offensive Holy Lights finally starting to pay off. But instant Tavern. I probably didn't even take a dent. Yeah, still 1100 gold. This is the power of that expansion. Like, you can just spend your gold almost without considering anything. Just spend it, because it's not going to run out. So the only real chance here for CaSpeND is just overrunning due to the fact that there's no Dispel. And I'm actually kind of liking this level 3 Brilliance now, because there's a lot of extra slow, a lot of extra Holy Lights. And I like the switch to Sorceresses. I'd love to see... Oh, actually double Sanctum. Wow. That's a really cool choice. A really, really cool choice. Just kind of banking on the fact that there's no Dispel. So adding more Sorceresses, more Priests. Spellbreakers even maybe wants to steal the Beetles. But eventually we're going to see this tier 3 kick in, and as soon as we have Destroyers, then this army loses almost all its value. Almost all its value. So CaSpeND, I think he has to end the game, like now. So I'm not sure how much more he wants to creep. I mean, he knows about the expansion, right? Let me just check his... Yeah, he knows. Or just maybe like somehow he didn't know about it, but he scouted it, right? So here we go. This has to be the game-ending push. Or is he going to try and go for the red? Oh no. Oh no. Piercing damage creeps against unarmored units. But he reacted very, very quickly, so nothing dies there. Statue dies too. Shockwave from the Overlord. And this could actually be a nasty creep jack if CaSpeND sees it. And he does with the Flying Machine. But the Rune of Healing is going to help a lot here. There we go, everything pretty much healed up to full. Slow. Again, there's no counter to the slow. Ito just kind of has to run here. Plus 5 intelligence and strength. Actually not a bad item at all. I'd put that on Criplord actually. CaSpeND really looking for that level 5 Paladin, but
A player's forces are under attack.
I feel like he's being a bit too passive here. And Ito is doing the smart thing. He's, you know, kind of utilizing this Unholy Aura, just buying time, running around. Don't take a fight, waiting for this to kick in right here. As soon as we see the Destroyers in the air, the slow is nullified, the elementals are nullified. We have level 3 Impale. I really hope so, at least. Yeah, level 3 Impale. Gonna be huge against this very weak tier 2 army, weak as far as HP is concerned. TP out. And this is all the time he needs. That's all the time he needs. Lich is out, gonna get an orb on that as soon as he gets the gold. So now he has everything unlocked that he needs. Destroyers, orb, Frost Nova. And now Ito is definitely not gonna run from the next fight. He's gonna take the next fight gladly.
A player's forces are under attack.
Meanwhile, CaSpeND, kind of sitting at 52. So he's not really banking, but not really making a huge army. A scroll of retraining. So CaSpeND must be anticipating these Destroyers now. So he's aware that they're going to be out pretty soon, and he's just not really caring that much. He's just, okay, I'm going to switch to Blizzard. But Blizzard isn't going to be enough, and still all these Sorceresses are going to be completely useless once there are Destroyers. But finally at level 5 on the Paladin. Would have loved to see in the Devotion Aura actually, but level 3 Holy Light. Level 3 Holy Light doesn't even help a whole lot, like, because nothing here has that much hit points. Like, level 2 Holy Light basically does the same job, unless you're using it offensively. So, like, I would almost love to see level 2 Holy Light and level 3 Aura in this type of game. And here we go. So here comes the push. And there's a counter expansion, so he's not even like all in with this. Wow, CaSpeND really has faith in his ability to overcome this huge economic deficit. Here's the first fight. There's actually anti-magic shell, so instantly gets removed with the Holy Light, but that keeps the Lich alive long enough. Blizzard is kicking in, actually doing a ton of damage because Ito isn't moving his army that much. But, Impale going off, Nova's going off, more anti-magic shell. He should Impale to cancel the Blizzard as well. And CaSpeND, he's holding on as best as he can, but Impale on just that one Archmage, wow, just to cancel the Blizzard. More focus fire on the Lich. Mana is full on the Death Knight, so he can definitely heal, you know, whatever he targets. Should be that Lich any moment now. Unless he wants to like surprise nuke with a coil, but he's actually losing unit after unit here. Wow, more Fiends going down. Blizzard doing a ton of damage. And Holy Light keeping everything alive. First coil in a long time on a Banshee, so I think Ito is really underutilizing this Death Knight right now. But army-wise, actually, let's look at the army. It's 54, 38, so Ito's ahead, but not by a whole lot. These heroes, wow. Too bad the ultimate from Archmage really isn't going to add anything to this, because maybe level 6 hero could save the day, but doesn't look like it. The last unit's getting picked off. Long distance coil to save the Lich, and CaSpeND almost doing like a Blizzard suicide. TP's out. So I have to say that attack did so much better than I thought it would. I thought CaSpeND would get slaughtered, but really good use of Blizzard, good use of Holy Light, spreading his army. The slow actually does quite a bit, because I mean, really, if there aren't like 5 destroyers, then there's no way the Undead can remove everything all the time. But this, I think, is the nail in the coffin. The expansion gets scouted. If this didn't get scouted and CaSpeND could bank a bit, then perhaps he could come back. But again, he's still tier 2. There's nothing super exciting coming from his army or his base anytime soon. It really are just these heroes keeping him going right now. And with this expansion gone, and this expansion alive, that puts Ito at an army advantage, hero advantage, and again the economic advantage. Nice last second Holy Light there, but still, wow, it's barely enough to keep the Archmage alive. It actually isn't enough, so GG. Cool game. I feel like CaSpeND's army and his push did a lot more than I thought it would. I thought it was very, very late, very slow, like almost overconfident, but it did a lot more than I thought it would. Again, I would have loved to see just an earlier push, like instead of creeping as much as he did in the mid-late game there, if he just would have actually pushed before destroyers. I wonder what the game would have looked like. But yeah, still pretty cool game nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.